Yo, what is up, everybody? We're back with the finale to the What If Naruto and THOR'S series. The last time we left off with Naruto encountering quite a bit of death and a pretty depressing scenery. Him realizing he doesn't want to lose his newfound family, aka Ino and her family. He can't let this happen. So he goes off on a journey alone to try to find what would be Orochimaru. Now, without further ado, let's get into this part. Naruto walks along. It's been about 3 months and he still has yet to find Orochimaru. But he's quite positive this is the hideout he's been hiding in. Everyone told him after all, and this is probably the one place he hasn't searched out of all the other locations. I'm ready, Naruto says. As he has adapted a new form of clothing, it's purely black. He just can't help but wear a different change in clothing with what he's about to do. He feels like it might taint his soul, or who he truly is if he uses his normal clothing. And he's not the same person as he was when he left. He's seen too much death and done too much killing to actually truly experience this. But all he knows is he can't wait to get back to Ino. He's been waiting, ticking down the days. And he knows, finally, once he beats Orochimaru and gets the rest of the Akatsuki, he can finally go home. He opens up what would be his cave entrance, entering in the domain of Orochimaru. He enters into what seems to be a throne room, and there sits Sasuke, a teenage Sasuke looking at Naruto. Sasuke, what are you doing here? Naruto says. Huh, so, I see you've noticed that I've taken over Sasuke's body, Orochimaru states. Wait, huh? Yes, this is the perfect vessel, is it not? I've had this body for about 2 years now. 3 years? I don't know. It's been so long it feels like my own for this entirety of time. What are you talking about? Naruto says. I took your friend's body. And there's no need to worry. It's being put in very good use. Sasuke wasn't my friend. He wasn't even an ally. But I will say, you taking his body is quite problematic. Did you even ask him? Of course I did. The boy just wanted his revenge. But I knew I wouldn't be able to grant him his revenge against his brother, Itachi. What? So you lied to him? Manipulated him? Of course I did, he says. Naruto, being a little enraged, is like, what are the others then? I assume you're the one that took them. Oh, the rest of the team? Yeah, they're fine. He snaps his fingers and they come walking in. They're basically mindless zombies. In walks Choji, except he's a much more fit Choji, I guess you'd say. Much more muscular. He has a beer belly or a gut, but his arms and his chest are much muscular. And Sakura walks in, lifeless. They both look at him. Oh, Naruto, huh? You want us to take care of him, Lord Orochimaru, sir? Of course I do. As he orders and points his finger at him, they rush towards Naruto with a very big amount of speed. What is this? Naruto thinks as he dodges barely. He actually uses his taijutsu prowess to immediately dodge and send one flying over. Then he kicks Choji in the gut, sending him flying back. Choji hits a wall, colliding. It begins to shake the room. Choji just gets back up. I'm sorry, Orochimaru, sir. I'll take my punishment later. I should have finished him in the first blow. As he expands his hand and he goes flying towards Naruto, Naruto immediately has to equal it out with his own force. The only reason he was able to is because he coated his fist with lightning. But he tries to numb what would be the effects of the body. He's forced to numb it, so the nerves go silent and he can't move his arm. Choji is pissed. I'm sorry, I won't let this happen. He tries rushing towards what would be Naruto with a limp arm. He's swinging around, and Naruto realizes he won't be able to keep this up. These guys aren't looking at him as a friend. He just yells at what would be Orochimaru. What did you do to him? What did you do? Quite simple. You see, let's say I take a serum, I inject it into them, and it makes them see me as master. I do this for 2 years straight, and I give them the best of what would be anything they can ask for. Who would you really think they would trust? And not to mention, Sakura finally has a lover. The man who loved her this entire time, or she loved this entire time, now loves her back in her eyes. In her eyes, I'm not Orochimaru, I'm Sasuke. Naruto's like, you monster. You're playing with their emotions. Yes, I am. But what's to say that they didn't play with your emotions, Naruto? Did Sakura not throw you aside, call you a monster multiple times? Did not every single person in that village do that to you? Yes, they did. But I don't care about them. The only ones I care about are my family, and I want to go back to them. And in order to do that, I need to know where the Akatsuki are, and you know where they are. Oh, so that's why you came here. Ah, that's interesting. Well, Naruto immediately just begins dodging the fights, and he was so overtaken in this that he ends up realizing he's gonna have to incapacitate him or kill them possibly. He pulls or summons what would be Mjolnir. Mjolnir comes flying down, or what would be like, he placed it down in a hallway earlier, so he always does this. He likes a flashy entrance and it gives him an advantage, so they don't see it and they underestimate him by just using taijutsu. He uses it and comes flying in, colliding with Choji's gut, and since he was so, like, I guess you could say obese or fat, he was able to tank it pretty well. Choji gets back up, attempting to lift up the hammer, but it won't work. Naruto rushes forward using his taijutsu and colliding a punch straight to Choji's face. But he used so much of his lightning abilities that it accidentally shocked Choji straight to death. Now, the reason it did that, usually it wouldn't be enough, but it was due to the fact that all the steroids and anabolics that were being used were just a little too much for Choji's system combined with the lightning. Now, Naruto doesn't know that he killed Choji. Not as of yet. He immediately shifts his focus towards Sakura and throws his hammer. But he was built up in so much rage, he accidentally threw it too hard and ends up colliding with Sakura's skull, cracking it, very similar to Zabuza's. Naruto feels a little gut-wrenching pain. Damn it, I killed another. Well, there's no turning back now. They weren't the same anyways. He looks and turns his attention towards Sasuke, or Orochimaru. Orochimaru claps. Haha, very well. Very nice. I approve of that. I like the fact that you were able to beat your old friends or allies, so be it. Yeah. Let's do this. I'll beat the fucking shit out of you until you tell me where the Akatsuki are. Well, I could just tell you now. Really? Yeah, but that wouldn't be any fun in there, would it? I wouldn't be able to test these abilities. Naruto rushes forward, trying to attack, but he's placed under a genjutsu. Therefore, Orochimaru suddenly appears behind him, stabbing him through the chest. Naruto coughs up some blood. Oh, this is a very similar move that Itachi used against me. Naruto, however, uses his lightning to shock him back into what would be an awake state. He slams his hammer against the back of Orochimaru's back. Orochimaru goes flying against the wall. Oh, you're very strong. You know, it's kind of bringing out a fight I haven't had in a long time. He cracks his knuckles. His arm has been dislocated, but he re-puts it into his shoulder. He rushes towards Naruto, trying to attack, but Naruto's speed much outclasses his. He's able to control his lightning to a much higher degree, so he easily outpaces him. He lands a knee straight towards the gut, grabbing him by the throat and slamming Orochimaru to the floor. However, Orochimaru grabs him, sending him flying back. He's able to dodge his moves, and he kind of learns Naruto's techniques since he has the Sharingan at this point. However, However, he doesn't have the Mangekyo though. Since he doesn't, it's not going to be any Amaterasu or anything. So Naruto's able to, I'd say, outclass him pretty simply. He's just kind of being a little sloppy in his fighting style currently, since he's filled with rage. He ends up getting a little pissed, and he slams his hammer towards the floor, lifting the entire thing and shaking everything, kind of causing an avalanche. As he runs out of there, or he leaves Orochimaru there to kind of be secluded and it to crash upon him. He's too fucking persistent to die to that, Naruto thinks. Suddenly, Orochimaru's head just popped out from the floor. Now, suddenly his body has been very well damaged. He's not going to survive this one, Naruto knows, and he'll finish him off anyways afterwards. He grabs him by the throat and says, "Tell me, where are the Akatsuki?" Now, Orochimaru did have some affiliation with the Akatsuki, since someone actually begins to speak behind him. So, it seems that I have come across you, Naruto. You were trying to come to us this entire time. That's awesome. Naruto turns around immediately. He accidentally moves so fast that Orochimaru's neck snaps. He sees Pain standing there. Him and his clones. Wait, who are you? As you can see, I am the leader of the Akatsuki, the group or the organization responsible for your friend's death. Naruto bites his tongue, blood tasting in his mouth. These guys are the one that did it? Huh. Just gotta beat you then, huh? No, If you don't beat me, someone else will. Well, if you beat me, someone will just take over. I am just the leader. Doesn't mean someone else can't become one as well. Fine, then I'll hunt down every single Akatsuki member and kill them myself, Naruto says. Good luck getting past me, Pain says as he rushes forward. Naruto's gonna end up beating him. I'll just say that he ends up slamming his hammer down, using so much immense force at one point in time. He uses basically a radius of red lightning and his surge of like QB chakra kind of, that it ends up incinerating towards about a 10-meter radius. If there's any background noise like chirping, it's because the birds are fucking loud, so please do excuse that. Now let's get back into this. Now Naruto has killed every single Akatsuki member, hunting them down and slaughtering them in cold blood. He knows that it's self-defense though, since they were coming after him in the first place. As he's embarking on his journey to go back home, he thinks to himself, I can finally see her. Finally see my family. I hope she still is waiting for me. He enters the Leaf Village and immediately walks towards his old house, or his room, a familiar room, and cleans it up to how he remembers it, dusting away all the dust, lifting up his old pictures. It's just as I remember. He takes a shower and then prepares to go, or gets ready to go to Ino's house. But he does know he needs to get new clothing. None of his old clothing will fit him properly anyways. He goes to the store and buys something a little more dark, something very similar to what he was wearing. He's kind of changed his taste in general. Something about him wearing the innocent colors he did before just doesn't sit right with him. He killed so much, but he's still the same person in a way. He'll always be the same person with Ino, no matter what. As he walks towards Ino's place, he thinks to himself, he needs to go and check in with the Hokage first. After all, that's what he needs. But he doesn't wanna. He wants to go see Ino right away. So he goes there anyways. He checks out Ino's house and he knocks. As Ino's dad answers the door, he's like, yeah, who is it? We don't do soliciting here. Oh, Naruto? And then he hears Ino come running around the corner. Naruto? She runs around and immediately runs towards Naruto, hugging him, grabbing him by his face. You've returned! I've been waiting, it's been so long, where were you? Are you okay? Naruto just kind of hugs her back. Of course I'm fine. I finally completed my thing, Ino. She looks up and she gives him a kiss. Naruto, however, he just immediately is overtaken and blushes. This is his first proper kiss with Ino. They haven't kissed at all yet. He looks down and he's just like, this feeling, I've never experienced something like this before. It's greater than anything in the world. Then he looks up and he immediately pushes her off. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Yamanaka. Boy, what are you sorry about? You guys were dating after all. You're gonna be your future husband, and I'm so proud. I'm actually really happy you're back. You know how boring it's been without playing those shogi games? What, you missed getting your ass kicked, Naruto says? Of course I did. Wait, what? They all begin laughing and having a good time and just end up enjoying themselves that night. Naruto still can't believe it. He missed this feeling so much. He was alone by himself. But he's finally back with his family. The next day he ends up going towards the Hokage's office and the third Hokage is waiting for him. Oh, Naruto. I know that you always wanted to be the Hokage, he says as he shakes Naruto's hand, congratulating him that he beat the Akatsuki. I could actually grant that wish for you. You seem very qualified for it. You know, I don't really want to be the Hokage anymore, Naruto states. I just really want to have time with my family, and if I do that, the responsibilities are going to outweigh the time I have. That's very fair and respectable. But instead, I will say one thing. You've done a lot for this village, so you deserve a token of our reward or honor. You're no normal individual. No, you're not normal at all. You're not a normal Leaf citizen. We didn't treat you right for that, so you don't deserve to be called that. It's kind of an insult. So, we're gonna give you a special headband. Instead of having the Leaf headband, we made you something special. A Jonin, aka Kakashi, walks in holding what would be a headband with the mark of Mjolnir. Now this Mjolnir is different though. It has a slight axe side to it. Naruto's confused. Why is that there? Well, you don't remember, do you? That one time that you were showing Ino something. You seem to have blacked out in training, and your Mjolnir changed changed shapes into this, and it was probably your unconscious or your true form of Mjolnir, aka Stormbreaker. Naruto thinks of this. That makes sense. Every single time I use it, my Mjolnir does gain more power when it begins to get longer. So this entire time, Naruto's been accessing a hidden power in Mjolnir. This corrupted Mjolnir is more like Stormbreaker than anything. Naruto smiles and shakes the third Hokage's hand. Thank you, old man. This means a lot, as he takes off his old headband and puts it on. Ino looks up and she's just like brimming with a grin. And that is where we're gonna leave this happy tale off. Their new family will begin. You guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. With that being said, I'm out.